Want to be a part of the conversation before it happens here on YouTube? Click that link in the description to join the free Courtside Financial Discord. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Weekend Recap on the Courtside Financial Podcast, a segment where we bring you a compilation of everything that went down throughout the week from a stories perspective. Before we get into this video, make sure you hit the like button, make sure you hit the subscribe button, and click the notification bell icon so you don't miss out on any content that's coming in the future. Mercedes-Benz was actually one of the original battery swapping companies. Back in the 70s, Mercedes-Benz actually tested out battery swapping themselves. They built about 40 electric buses for the project, and they concluded that it just wasn't safe. What added to the precautions of electrocution was that battery quality was so bad back then. The system just didn't even have an intelligent charging and discharging mechanism. So the point I'm trying to make here is that in the 70s, Mercedes-Benz failed horrendously when it came to battery swapping. In today's episode, you guys are going to follow me on a journey into the past, and then we'll also take a glimpse at a potential future that could reshape the entire automotive industry. Our focus is going to be Mercedes-Benz and NIO, two respective giants from different eras, both united by a common thread: battery swapping. Mercedes-Benz was actually one of the original battery swapping companies. Back in the 70s, Mercedes-Benz actually tested out battery swapping themselves. They built about 40 electric buses for the project, and they concluded that it just wasn't safe. What added to the precautions of electrocution was that battery quality was so bad back then. The system just didn't even have an intelligent charging and discharging mechanism. So the point I'm trying to make here is that in the 70s, Mercedes-Benz failed horrendously when it came to battery swapping. In their mind back then, they were going to leave that up to somebody else to create the technology. And fast forward to 2009, Better Place was heralded as a groundbreaking technology. Picture this: the year 2009, and the concept of battery swapping is slowly gaining momentum. The world is intrigued by the idea of clean and silent power. One company, Better Place, proposes a revolutionary battery swapping infrastructure, and they have the likes of IBM and the Danish government backing this venture. There was lots of speculation even at that time that Mercedes-Benz would partner with Better Place, but we all know what came out of Better Place. They failed terribly at battery swapping, and now we fast forward to current day, we have a company like NIO that's actually succeeding when it comes to battery swapping. So today we find ourselves at a crossroad. NIO, a trailblazer in the EV landscape, has not only mastered battery swapping technology, but has made it safer, more efficient, and more commercially viable. NIO owns a staggering 68% of the market when it comes to battery swapping. And not only that, they also hold numerous patents. The tables have turned, and an idea that's been discarded several times is now a revolutionary success. What we can learn from this is that Mercedes-Benz past might hold valuable lessons for where they could go in the future. As we stand on the brink of a new era in automotive technology, is Mercedes-Benz seriously considering doing business with NIO? In a world where innovation knows no bounds, should they revisit the concept of battery swapping and potentially partner with NIO? The electric vehicle landscape has evolved tremendously since the 70s. Advancements in safety, efficiency, and technology have reshaped the possibilities. Mercedes-Benz's willingness to have their eyes on the battery swapping concept back then raises the question: could their past be the reason that a partnership with NIO could happen? Now, there's all these rumors floating around that the partnership will happen. However, it's important to let you guys, the viewers, know that NIO has denied that there is a partnership in the works between them and Mercedes-Benz. However, Chairman and CEO William Li has said that they're in discussions with several companies about licensing out their technology. Despite NIO denying the rumors, there have been multiple occasions where NIO personnel has been seen with Mercedes-Benz personnel. Even just a few days ago, CEO William Li was seen with Mercedes-Benz vice president. Recently, there was also the partnership between the German auto giant Volkswagen and Xpeng, which has added to the speculation that NIO may find a partner as well. Now, I think that Xpeng partnered with Volkswagen out of necessity. If you look at the three brands, Li Auto, NIO, and Xpeng is not selling nearly as much as the other two. NIO's clearly in a stronger position, and this is as of the reported July delivery numbers. So I wanted to put all the information out there and pose the right questions. At the end of the day, we'll have to wait to see if this partnership will happen or not, but I do want to know what you guys think. So let's dive into the latest numbers from the Chinese electric vehicles insurance registration. Last week's data revealed a bunch of contrast and challenges in the Chinese electric vehicle market. Tesla surged ahead, clocking a 20.75% increase in registrations with 12,800 units registered, showcasing the power of their brand and products. In the race, NIO navigated a sharp curve, experiencing a 20.37% dip with 4,300 units. The road ahead for NIO, while paved with optimism and record deliveries, reminds us that the EV industry isn't immune to speed bumps. Meanwhile, Li Auto, a frontrunner in new energy vehicles, maintained its lead with 7,200 units, while Xpeng faced headwinds with only 3,100 units. Shifting gears, let's explore intricate rumors in the world of EV partnerships. NIO's name was once again entangled in the rumors floating around the internet about a potential partnership between them and Mercedes-Benz. As we discussed yesterday, videos of William Li that had surfaced of him touring a battery swap station with Mercedes-Benz personnel sent the internet spinning. But NIO has once again swiftly clarified that these speculations are parked in fiction territory. This underscores the fascination and interest surrounding potential EV partnerships, with potential alliances igniting imagination. However, separating truth from traction remains a challenge in this industry that thrives on innovation and speculation. Now, I had a theory yesterday, and I said that it could be possible for Mercedes-Benz to partner with NIO on battery swapping technology, given the things that President William Li has said, that he's in discussions with several companies about licensing out their battery swapping technology, and given Mercedes past, as they were actually one of the first companies to experiment with battery swapping in the 70s. However, they realized that the way they were doing it just wasn't safe. I mentioned that this could present an opportunity for a company like Mercedes-Benz to capitalize on a technology that they once wanted to, but just didn't have the means to. Back in the 70s, Mercedes-Benz actually tested out battery swapping themselves. Built about 40 electric buses for the project, and they concluded that it just wasn't safe. What added to the precautions of electrocution was that battery quality was so bad back then. The system just didn't even have an intelligent charging and discharging mechanism. So the point I'm trying to make here is that in the 70s, Mercedes-Benz failed horrendously when it came to battery swapping. In their mind back then, they were going to leave that up to somebody else to create the technology. Our final lap here in today's episode takes us to the crossroads of stock performance and profitability with Li Auto. Despite revealing astonishing Q2 results, Li Auto stock has recently dropped. Li Auto stock fell somewhere around 9.5% today, evoking questions about the mysterious dance between market sentiments, financial realities, and stock performance. On the track of pure delivery numbers, Li Auto soared. Earnings tripled expectations, and revenue sprinted past the $3.95 billion mark. A closer examination reveals that the company is pretty much firing on all cylinders here. As of the report, it's currently boasting 86,533 vehicles delivered. Gross margins are revving up, and operating profits are shifting from negative to positive. Yet, as investors react to macroeconomic signals, it's a reminder that the market road can be winding and full of unforeseen turns. Is the stock market irrational, or is it just the fact that Li Auto might be winning in the short-term game of increasing their deliveries by delivering plug-in hybrids when longer-term success lies in pure electric vehicles? As we conclude today's electrifying journey, it's clear that the EV arena is a high-speed battleground of innovation, collaboration, and market dynamics. Whether it's insurance registrations revealing the pulse of the industry, partnership rumors fueling our imaginations, or the stock market's wild race with profitability, one thing remains certain: the road to success is exhilarating, but it demands a steady hand on the wheel. Now, today we're going to be talking about why the market is a little irrational and why I personally don't do price targets and think about the stock price on the day-to-day. I more so take long positions and I follow the fundamentals of companies. But today we're going to compare NIO, Li Auto, and Xpeng. I also just left the gym. It's like 6 o'clock in the morning on the West Coast. So as we record this episode, the financial world is buzzing with activity. At the time of this recording, NIO is trading at $14.07 per share, while its competitor Xpeng stands at $17.73 per share. It seems paradoxical, doesn't it? Especially when we consider the recent delivery figures. Let's take a closer look. From July 31st to August 6th, NIO delivered 4,300 vehicles, while Xpeng only delivered 3,100 vehicles. But the differences don't stop there. For the month of July, NIO delivered 20,462 vehicles, while Xpeng delivered 11,008 vehicles. So clearly, NIO is outperforming Xpeng in terms of delivery, yet their stock price tells a different story. The discrepancy highlights the truth about the stock market. It can be irrational and unpredictable. Remember, no one can consistently time the market or accurately predict price movement. Even the legendary Warren Buffett, often referred to as the Oracle of Omaha, famously shuns market timing. As he wisely advises, the stock market is a tool for transferring money from the patient to the impatient. Now let's shift our attention to Li Auto. Just recently, they reported a stellar Q2 earnings. Despite tripling the number of vehicles they delivered in Q2 2023 compared to the same period last year, delivering a whopping 86,533 units and witnessing a remarkable 228% surge in revenue, the stock has dipped over the past 5 days. Gross margins improved, operating profit margins turned positive, and net income soared. By the time it was all said and done, earnings jumped by nearly half from the previous year to $319 million. This fascinating turn of events once again highlights the perplexing nature of the stock market. Li Auto's financial performance is overshadowed by short-term price fluctuations. It serves as a stern reminder that stock prices can deviate from underlying fundamentals, leaving investors scratching their heads. Now, before we conclude, a quick word about my personal perspective. I view NIO as a long-term investment. Day-to-day price movements don't deter me. Instead, I focus on consistently accumulating shares. However, please note that none of what I say constitutes financial advice. It's merely a reflection of my own approach, and I'm not a financial advisor. So dear listeners, as we wrap up this episode, remember that the stock market is a complex vehicle. It can behave irrationally and defy logical explanation, often leading to disparities between stock price and underlying value. In my opinion, embracing a patient and long-term investment approach is the way to go. For me, staying grounded in long-term fundamentals is the best defense against an erratic market. Today, we're going to be talking about Italian powertrain manufacturer MAVEL Powertrain, which has just received a significant investment from NIO Capital and is expected to become a key manufacturer of powertrains for NIO's next generation models. So this is going to be a super interesting video. Shout out to CNEV Post for the news. MAVEL, a company with a rich history dating back to its founding in 1999, has caught the attention of NIO Capital. NIO Capital is a holdings company associated with NIO, which focuses on investments in the new energy vehicle industry. And so MAVEL will play a key part as a supplier for core components of NIO's upcoming platform, positioning itself at the forefront of this rapidly evolving industry. Reported by CNEV Post, NIO Capital recently led a Series A financing round for MAVEL, injecting substantial capital into the Italian powertrain manufacturer. This investment is the latest move in NIO Capital's strategy to foster innovation and drive advancements in the new energy vehicle sector. MAVEL's innovative electric drive solutions have already garnered the respect of several huge players in the automotive industry, such as Aston Martin, McLaren, Ducati, Energica, and of course now NIO. Ian Zhu, a manufacturing partner at NIO Capital, highlighted the exceptional advancements that MAVEL and their drive systems bring to the table. The cutting-edge engineering and structural design of these systems offer notable improvements in terms of efficiency, speed, and power density. As the heart of a new energy vehicle, the electric drive system profoundly influences important factors such as performance, economy, and overall driving comfort and safety. But what sets MAVEL apart? Well, it's its strong first mover advantage, an extensive portfolio of patented technologies. These things place it in a unique position. With over 2 decades of experience in the automotive industry, MAVEL's founders boast a wealth of knowledge derived from well-known automotive giants like Jaguar, Land Rover, Mercedes-Benz, BMW, SAIC, and BAIC. One interesting thing to note is that NIO Capital's managing partner is William Lee, who we already know also wears multiple hats as the founder, chairman, and CEO of NIO. This strategic investment underscores NIO Capital's commitment to driving the NEV industry forward through targeted investment. It's worth noting that NIO Capital's portfolio extends beyond electric vehicle related companies as well. They're also invested in ventures like Clear Motion, a US advanced startup suspension company, and this signals their interest in broader automotive technology. So what's next for this dynamic between MAVEL and NIO Capital? As the automotive industry navigates the challenges of high-speed innovation and miniaturization, the solutions that MAVEL has pioneered are poised to play a pivotal role. In today's episode, I'm going to be addressing the NIO Phone, and we're going to talk about if I think that's a good idea for NIO or not, and we'll also address the things that are positive for it, because spoiler alert, I don't think it's the best idea, but we'll get into it in this video. So we've seen NIO making waves in the electric vehicle industry, but now they're eyeing a new venture, the smartphone market. There's recently been leaks of the NIO Phone, and that's what we're here to talk about today. Like I said, I'm not really the biggest fan of the NIO Phone, just because I know that it's going to be a capital intensive game for NIO to play. And also I know that the smartphone market is very competitive. How many of you want to switch away from these guys right here, the iPhone? Apple has captured a lot of market share, and so I think that this phone might be a good phone for Android users, people who aren't necessarily tied to an operating system. iPhone users are pretty much stuck because of all the integration features that iPhone has and the ecosystem that they have. And so NIO is trying to create their own ecosystem. But before I get ahead of my skis, I'm going to go through all the points that I have written out here for you guys. So a good reason for them to have this phone is brand extension and synergy. NIO's built a strong reputation in the electric vehicle space. Extending their brand to smartphones could create a powerful ecosystem that connects users further than just a network of EVs and charging. It could foster a sense of community enthusiasm. Imagine seamlessly managing your NIO vehicle on your smartphone. Compelling proposition that could enhance brand loyalty. Another thing here is diversification of revenue streams. Now, before I even get into this point, I honestly think that the smartphone market for NIO is such a niche opportunity for them because it's hyper competitive and they're already pouring a lot of resources into innovating around the vehicles. But like I said, diversification of revenue streams could potentially be a good thing. NIO's success is closely tied to electric vehicles, but with the smartphone venture, NIO could potentially tap into a completely new market for them. The smartphone market is vast, and by offering a premium device, NIO could potentially reducing their dependencies on electric vehicles alone. Next is obviously technology integration. This is a pro for sure. The leaked specs of the NIO smartphone are impressive, featuring an 8th generation Snapdragon, substantial RAM, and storage. This showcases NIO's commitment to innovation. Think about the possibilities of integrating this into a NIO vehicle. Now, honestly, there is a big problem in the electric vehicle market that cars don't have their own operating systems. They're all using Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. And so the challenge really becomes that cars need to get smarter, but they haven't made the investments in the technology, so they just go the route of least resistance, which is going with these already popularized and well-proven operating systems. The possibilities of integrating this NIO phone with your NIO vehicle. It's a tantalizing prospect for NIO and tech enthusiasts. Next, there's flagship features. NIO's not really cutting corners with this smartphone. There's high-end cameras here just like any other phone, and there's flagship specifications. That caters to those who demand top-notch performance out of a smartphone. There's market niche and differentiation. There's not really any other automakers that I can think of off the top of my head that are doing this. This could also help them expand into international markets. And what I mean by that is that this could be a marketing move to boost brand recognition. There's the early mover advantage. You guys know what that means. If you're a pioneer, if you succeed in doing so, you were the first to market, just kind of like how Tesla has the early mover advantage in electric vehicles. Obviously, there's the potential for ecosystem growth. And then here's a big thing here. There's advanced data collection and insights, which is super important. The smartphone venture could provide NIO with valuable data on users' behavior and preferences. This information could be a goldmine for refining products and refining the go-to-market. Of course, like with any business decision, there's potential challenges and considerations to keep in mind. Competition, market saturation, and effective marketing strategies are just a few factors that NIO must navigate. I personally don't think that this phone is for everyone. I personally think that this phone is going to be a niche product, and I personally hope that they're not putting too much resources and efforts behind it. Of course, make it very sharp technology-wise, but don't try to make this a mass market thing. That's going to be very capital intensive in a very competitive market. But we have gone over the pros of them having a phone, and those are some good things I wanted to highlight. But I do think that it's going to be a big challenge for NIO, and we'll see how successful the phone is. I believe a NIO representative, maybe it was William Lee, even said that this phone is not for everyone. So, while a lot of guys are getting very excited about the phone and getting super hyped over it, I just wanted to give my 2 cents on it and make sure that you guys understood my perspective. Whereas I think NIO has much more opportunity in electric vehicles and in the charging ecosystem that they're building out. I think their efforts need to be mostly focused on infrastructure and vehicle. And there's already NIO Life. That's another venture that NIO has. So, once you get to become like as big of a company as like an Amazon, I think that's when you can venture into these different buckets. But NIO is just kind of starting out, and so they need to be really careful with their funding. It's going to be it for this episode of Week in Recap for the Courtside Financial Podcast. If you found any of this information valuable, make sure you hit the like button, make sure you hit the subscribe button, and definitely leave a comment down below. Genuinely interested in hearing what you guys think about these this new style of videos that we're doing. Anyways, that's going to be it. I'll catch you guys next time.